Hey, what is up gamers? I'm going to go over the concept of spacing in Valorant. Have you ever wondered why you aren't getting traded or why you're unable to trade your teammate? This video can help you understand why and how to improve your spacing in your games. To warm up, let's go into swift play and try to be close enough to your teammate where you can trade them if they die. Don't be too close where you can get collided and both die by the same guy. Now let's go over what is spacing. Spacing in Valorant is when your positioning with a teammate is good enough to where you can trade and take a gunfight together instead of going one by one, not being able to trade each other out, or giving the opposing team a 1v1 instead of a 2v1. Now let's talk about how to improve your spacing. Improve your spacing by gauging the space between you and your teammate. Try to think in your head, if we swing a player or a player swings us, can we 2v1 them? Also think, if my teammate gets killed, can I instantly trade that player? What I like to do when my spacing is bad is tell my teammate, I'm a couple seconds behind you. I'm going to pull out my knife, catch up to my teammate, and improve my spacing. Then we can scale or take space. Alright guys, I'm going to go over good spacing and bad spacing in the span of the same clip. Here we're retaking on B, and to retake you guys really want to stick together and have good gunfights together. And you can see the spacing on the map. All three players are together and they're gonna swing together. Brimstone and Sky are gonna swing hookah and they're gonna fight the same guy. The Sky on the enemy team had no chance of winning that gunfight. It was a 2v1, Brimstone and Sky versus him. Even if he did kill the Sky, the Brimstone's there to instantly trade. Now this is a really good example of good spacing. Now if we fast forward a little, this is an example of bad spacing. It's the same premise. Two players have good enough spacing to swing together. However, the Brimstone is right behind the Sky, which causes a collateral. And that is poor spacing, but the principle is there. Actually, all three players were fighting together, and that's the whole premise of good spacing. You can have this 3v1, 2v1, and just win gunfights, but that's an example of bad spacing where you just line up. You don't want a player to be right in front of you because it just gives the player a free multi-kill, right? I also want to talk about when you want to pull out your knife to improve your spacing. When a player is very ahead of you, and you tell them, I need to catch up to you, my spacing is really bad. They hold the on angle and you just walk up with a knife. That's how you use your knife to improve your spacing. If you're the first person in the front, do not use your knife. Just hold the gun, have your gun out and hold the angle so that your person behind you can catch up to you. Now we're going to talk about spacing for scaling. Scaling sight is a term that players use that simply means go into sight after our entry and have good enough spacing. Scaling is a really important concept to understand when executing sights, because without good spacing with your entry, your duelist and entry will just simply die alone without getting traded or having any value. Spacing is also very important in the clutch. This is where spacing matters the most in my opinion. To have the highest percentage of winning a clutch, you need to have really good spacing, because it maximizes the chance of having 2v1s with your teammates. As you may know, when you guys are in a 4v2 scenario and you're the 4, the main comm is do not give ones. The reason being is the people in the clutch just need to have great spacing and just consistently have 2v1s. They can even have 2v2s and win. I will go over how to clutch and the best way to clutch in another video, so stay tuned for that. And for our scrim with purpose, I want you guys to go into an unrated or competitive game and focus on spacing when executing sights, when in the clutch, and whenever you're with your teammates. Good spacing will win rounds and it is really good practice. This is Coach NJV and I hope you guys understand spacing more. I'll catch y'all in the next video.